Let's talk holiday basketball. San Diego State was ranked 20th in the country. They're now 30th in the country. They gave one away. They gave a Christmas gift to Utah State. It was vintage Aztec basketball for the first half of their game on Saturday. The second half looked like a team from outer space. You couldn't identify with who they were and how they played. Utah State comes from 18 back to win at San Diego State on a three-point shot with 7 seconds to go. But they really did the damage throughout the entire second half. And the statistics were amazing, John. The Aztecs held the Aggies to 18 points in 18 minutes in the first half. Utah State did not look like an 11-1 basketball team. In the second half, Utah State went zone. San Diego State went 0 for 11 from the three-point arc, shot 25% from the floor in the second half. That didn't look like vintage Aztec basketball. I guess a learning curve of a game for a fairly new, fairly young Aztec team. Is it the end of the world? No. Last I checked, it only counts as one loss to Utah State, but they were up by 18, and this does not happen to a Brian Dutcher team. What complicates the loss, John, is now they got to go play at Boise, and they got to go play at New Mexico, and those won't be easy tilts. I mean, I hate to pull this number out of the sky, but they could be 0-3 by a week from now because of those two tough road games. So you watched it. You saw it. Great first half. Vintage Aztec at home first half. And that looked like something from outer space, a foreign team in the second half of the game.
It was unbelievable. And, you know, the Aztecs have historically always had a problem with the zone defense. And I know this is a matchup zone. I don't really understand the intricacies of how it differs from a regular zone, but it was clear it wasn't working. The Aztecs were hitting threes in the first half, like lights out. And then the second half, I think they were 0 for. But, you know, Utah State has a lot of good guys. That Falslave kid is pretty good.
They got two good guards and a guy that was hitting threes all day long. Tough loss for San Diego State. But now they got to go on the road and go into Boise, go into Albuquerque. That's going to be hard.
Hey, what was your take on that Miles Byrd charge?
I thought it was a charge. It was not a block. But on the very next trip down the floor, there should have been a foul on San Diego State that the officials didn't call. I didn't think the officials had a real consistent good game, but they were botching them on both sides. But yeah, Miles Byrd got a bad deal on that call, but then San Diego State escaped on the next trip down the floor because they should have had a foul there that was never, ever called. Let's talk about the other story, UCLA. Nobody in the country is talking about the Bruins. Hell, nobody's going to see the Bruins at Pauley Pavilion. 11-2 on the season. They punch Gonzaga in the mouth. Tell you, I give a lot of credit to Mark Few. The Zags play anybody, anywhere, anytime. They may play collectively, John, the toughest schedule in the country. But the Bruins hit them with three-point shots. The Bruins hit them with vintage Mick Cronin defense. And UCLA is 11-2 on the season. And Gonzaga just continues to play every tough guy there is on the schedule. March Madness is going to be fun to look at some of these basketball teams because we got an Aztecs, we got UCLA. I mean, those are March Madness teams. And by the way, the other guy on the hill over there by the ocean, UCSD, if they win the Big West, think about this. We could have two San Diego college teams in March Madness in what many people view it as not a basketball city. It's become a basketball city.
Yeah, I saw like a March Madness, bracketologist say that UCSD might be a 13 seed playing Gonzaga, a 4 in the first round. And I'm just loving it as an alumni of UCSD. But yeah, UCLA, it's weird. Like some years they're really good, and then other years they're not so good. Sometimes there's some chaos, but boy, they did look sharp against Gonzaga.
And they're 11-2, and they play a national schedule. And nobody's talking about UCLA right now, and nobody's going to Pauley Pavilion to see their games. So that's college basketball right out of the gate. Fans Forum chat box is open. If you're an Aztec fan, feel free to jump on board. You want to talk college hoops, feel free. We're not done with basketball.